The gentleman from Roanoke City, Mr. Rasoul.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A point of personal privilege.
The gentleman has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House. Many years ago, about the time I was born, way back in the 1980s, those millennials, there was a man who served this great body. And in 1982, that man was a member of a large Democratic majority, but he believed in something very few Democrats believed in. In fact, he was one of few Democratic state legislators in the nation pushing for this legislation. Members of the Democratic caucus who held a supermajority dismissed his idea and thought it was frivolous. Mr. Speaker, that legislator was our very own Ken Plum, and that idea that he was pushing at that time was redistricting reform. Only fitting today that we are honored to have Ken's wife and granddaughter with us in the back of the chamber. But Mr. Speaker, Delegate Plum believed and still believes in redistricting reform for three reasons that he discusses. It's a conflict of interest for legislators to draw their own district lines. He also believed that hyperpartisan districts would lead us to worry more about primaries than general elections. And then third, he also believed that hyperpartisan districts would lead to legislative gridlock. Redistricting reform comes to the P&E committee this week, potentially through Senate Joint Resolution 284, which is championed by Republican Senator Jill Vogel. I believe that this is a good compromise because it not only has a majority of partisan appointees, but it also brings in some independent individuals, but also it brings in nationally recognized criteria, which are important in redistricting reform. Mr. Speaker, various scenarios play out under redistricting reform that Republicans would hold and continue to hold not only a majority here in the House, but also a firm majority in the Senate. Mr. Speaker, that is something that I am perfectly okay with, so long as we can solve this problem for generations to come. Mr. Speaker, my only regret is that I was not here 30 years ago to give this speech as a member of the majority and stand with Delegate Plum as he courageously advocated for what he believed was the right thing to do. Thank you.